That's the one thing I don't have.
Give me a second here.
You suggest with your actions, not your words.
Everything about you is suggestive. I think he just gets a flat d20. All right. So you cast the spell, and you're trying to get 2 wagons for 20 gold. Is that right?
2 wagons for 20 gold, yes.
He kind of, is lapping up the compliments, and as you speak the words of the spell, his eyes kind of glaze over for a moment, and then he snaps back to a moment of cohesion. That's not what I'm looking for. Cognizance, where he is just fully aware of everything in the moment. He says, "That's not the bad deal at all, actually. Yeah, it'd be great for the town, great for me. I'm worried about my brother in the next town over. I haven't been able to see him in some. Yeah, let me get this taken care of for you."
Oh, wonderful. I hope we can help your brother, too.
And he immediately talks about his brother and his brother's family and how he hasn't seen the little one in a while. As he begins getting these 2 wagons out, saddling up horses for them.
All the while, I'm just smiling like the cat who ate the canary.
Yeah. He tries to avoid, locking eyes with you. He feels a little bit guilty about saying no to you, but yes to her.
Oh, don't worry about it. I know that his face is not the most trustworthy, but that's okay. He just didn't understand exactly how important this was to your town.
Oh, it's all right. Take care of this. And he has wonderful hair, like Jane Fonda.
Oh, he really does.
But he gets the wagons and the horses saddled, and you have bamboozled this man for 20 gold.
Bamboozled.
As we bring the caravans to pick up our people, you, my dear, are full of surprises, I must say. I'm sorry I've underestimated you.
Oh, I no, it's nothing to worry about. I don't have very many skills, but I just am good with people.
Quite certainly. I thought I was, but obviously I still have much to learn.
Oh, you look like you would be very good with people. Maybe we can test that sometime.
Love to.
And you guys return. Wagons and horses led through the square.
Slam the door open.
Tavis will actually kind of grub. Stop doing that!
Oh, I'm so sorry, Tavis. I'm just in a wonderful mood. We have not 1, but 2 wagons, thanks to the wonderful Pyrrha, who has been quite surprising, as it were. Are you all ready?
I suppose.
Yes, we should get this done.
All right. Tavis will kind of walk over and, still a little grumpily, will wish you all the best. Be sure, blah, 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 blah. Be careful out there, and make sure that when you find your way home, it's with victory behind you. And kind of breaks down from this bravado into a more sincere, sentimental approach. Clasping on the shoulder kind of becomes these awkward hugs. And again, it's a little awkward, and probably not all of you are super receptive.
I don't want.
I'm not super comfortable.
I man hug that man.
Yeah.
Like you hug your dad. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
kind of
I
hug.
mean, we're
Okay.
comfortable with him, right? Like we grew up with him, so
Yeah. Oh, I assumed Ondel wasn't the hugging type.
He's
Best
fine with
case scenario, I assumed he was like the Macho Man 80s arm clasp. like in the beginning of Predator.
the checking for daggers kind of fucking thing.
Melvin.
No, it
still
depends
put
on who it
pencils,
is.
eh?
Okay.
I'm actually not so good with 2 sincere hugs. Fake hugs, I'm fine with. 2 sinceres kind of
Yeah.
is a little off-putting for me. I'll just pat the back there. It's okay.
There.
As he... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'll hug him and then say, stay safe, all right? And we'll be back soon, and we'll have great news. I'm sure of it.
As he leans in to hug Pyra, she whispers in his ear, can I talk to you when we come back? I have some questions for you.
He looks curious, but he nods. I'll be here. And you guys can set out on your way.
So what's the plan, everyone? Who's gonna seem like the person in distress?
We are the richest merchants that have ever gone down this road.
Oh yeah.
That means you guys have to pick a noble
Share that.
and 3 servants. So who's going to be a servant?
Well, Callisto will immediately say, I think I could probably play the noble. So
You're certainly
And-
haughty enough.
her
I'm
clothes
going
definitely are, by the way, she has a set of fine clothes, so they're very, well made. But she will say, I doubt that the elf can pass as a slave.
Well, that's right. I'm not very
Did you say slave?
observant.
Yeah,
Yes,
he said
actually, that's a
anything
good
about
question.
slaves, Servant.
Oh, I'm sorry, was that the wrong word?
You did
I
say
believe
you
they
doubt
use
that I can
servants
pass
around
as
here.
it, so thank you, I suppose. I'll sit inside the caravan under a sheet or something.
Wasn't he the one who had the rumors about slavery?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I said slave, it was on purpose.
Yeah.
It was obvious.
Nice
But
recovery.
if-
Good job.
Sure.
If you would rather sit on the coach, I'm afraid. I can definitely do either way. I'll just give a snap of my fingers, and I'll turn into the most generic Steve you've ever met. Just like, peasant-looking, peasant clothes, blonde, brown eyes, brown hair, regular face, just as Steve gets.
Yeah. So just a snap of your fingers, and there is almost like the light dims around you for just the briefest moment. Like you guys were caught blinking unawares, and instantly Morgan is wearing someone else's skin. They are very much average, normal looking. They look like they could have been any of the farmers you passed coming in. Entirely unremarkable.
Is that disguise self? Because I would recognize it.
Why don't you make an Arcana check?
But I also know the spell, so I feel like I would
Yeah.
recognize that
Which
spell.
is why I'm letting you make the Arcana check.
Can I
Everyone's
arcana
with
that as
advantage.
well?
Impressive in the last 10 years.
Basically, if it's on your spell list or there's a reason that you can go ahead. So both of you do recognize the spell, although, how do I say this? It looks like they have a proficiency with it that is well beyond what you would expect from just good training and practice.
Mm.
This seems very natural to them and entirely, it's like breathing. It's so second nature.
Oh, that's amazing. I've never figured out how to hide my tail. Maybe you could teach me that someday.
Maybe I could.
I do also have to agree that appearance is very convincing. Usually, I use it just to enhance. But I think this looks wonderful. You look extremely boring right now.
You could wrap
I'll
your
take it as
tail
a
around your
compliment.
waist like a belt.
Wait, what'd you say?
What? Oh, I was
didn't-
thinking of other things.
Tails.
So
Oh, you know,
Should-
I've tried that before. Sometimes I hide it under my scarves. It's actually one of the reasons I wear so many.
very practical.
I will say, Carp, perhaps you can ride next to me. I think we probably look somewhat related, so it would make sense.
I think I'll walk beside the wagon.
Good choice.
Shouldn't we have some people hidden inside the wagon for surprise effects?
That's the idea with me.
I'm not very good at surprises, but perhaps I could be in your retinue. Wait, who is our noble?
What?
Oh, I'll give out a.
It's difficult
Oh,
to tell,
okay.
isn't it?
No, it's just that there was a little bit of confusion, and it seemed like a few people might want to be your noble. But I'm really glad it's you, Costo. You're going to be really great. I could be in your retinue. I could be your bard.
How about this? The two ladies are our nobles. Carp and I will be your anymen, and we will have Undil hidden somewhere in the wagons.
Sounds like a great idea.
Oh, that's good. But I'm not a noble. I'll just be your bard. I'll be part of your.
Nonsense! Nonsense! You'll be a fantastic noblewoman.
Well, there's not that many that have horns, but I suppose.
Call me crazy, as I'm sure Callisto is about to, but part of me believes that the goblins won't really care about all of this detail.
But it is so much fun to roleplay, no?
Well, I mean, some might say that, but
Occasionally, yes.
The man does have a point, even if his manners are to be leave some to be desired. I think that if we talk loud enough about how much supplies we're carrying, they won't really care whether or not we make convincing nobles.
that's the key.
Ooh, I
Where
suddenly
are we
had an
going?
idea. And I don't know if this is a good idea because it might cost us our little deposit. But do you think we can maybe buy some gunpowder? Those things that go boom, and put them in the wagons? And if any of the goblins get too close, then we could just make the wagons go boom.
That sounds like an expensive idea.
Expensive
And
thing.
dangerous.
You're probably right.
I'm not certain how much gunpowder we could find in this town.
Is gunpowder a thing? by the
I was
way?
going
No
to get to
guns.
that when you finish. So there are no guns,
Okay.
but black powder, which, by the way, in real life was called black powder before it was called gunpowder, is actually becoming into prominence. And there are people that seem to be weaponizing it. This is a known thing.
But we're still in a small town. Do they sell it here? Have we heard anything about it or seen anything when we
You
went?
think that, just for expeditious purposes, you think that this is the place that it would travel through, not its final
Not stay.
destination.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've just heard of this thing before, but yeah, you're right. It's probably really expensive.
It was a great idea, though, except I also worry that we might be in danger, because that kind of thing is hard to control. It's usually better to just use firebolts.
Good job.
Austin, was that intentional or not?
Damn it. That was possibly intentional. No, it wasn't intentional. I was yelling at Tony about exploding gauntlets. That sounds badass. What?
You're not wrong.
Carry on.
So
Well,
you can have an
I
exploding gauntlet, but every time you use it, it takes one finger.
I'm okay with that. I've already downed one. I feel like it started with the half-loaded clip.
Yeah.
All right, I think we have a plan.
Yep.
It sounds like a sound plan.
Okay,
Do we know
so-
the road to take?
The one where the caravan was coming from.
He gave you a
And then
few that
west,
you can
right?
choose from if you would like.
Makes sense.
And yeah, he'll tell you even the specific one, the caravan that.
That one.
Well, off we go then, and let's hope we find maybe not lots, just a few goblins. Enough to... Wait, what is our plan again? We're supposed to parlay with them?
Well,
No, not the shave something. I'm not good with names.
shave crusts.
These would be a different tribe, I believe.
Right, we're seeking the ones actually doing the attacking.
Yes.
So we fire on sight.
Yes.
Unless they don't fire first, I bet we could convince them to talk to us.
I imagine arrows from the trees will be our first talk.
Actually, I was rather hoping that we would have some advanced warning. Diaval over here, I'm gonna point to my bird, is, well, let's say that we have a special bond, him and I. He should be able to fly above. Let me know what he can see. Hopefully we'll have a bit of a warning before they do attack us.
Morgan, can I ask you something personal? When you
It's
say
unlikely that I
special
will
bond,
answer.
you don't mean you're molesting that bird, right?
Do I look like I'm molesting birds?
Carp,
I mean,
sometimes
not
maybe you
currently.
want to